All right. We are going to start this little breakdown of every team. I'm going to be starting off with Fortna because this dude doesn't have any patience. I'm just kidding. All right. So you start off with Jose Ramirez. There's not really much to talk about there. It's a good pick. Good job. Great job. You can't really miss no matter who you take in the first round unless there's an injury. So definitely where you were at. It's just a safe pick. It's a good pick. Pete Alonso in the second. I believe you kept him there, but I do love that little combination there. The Jose Ramirez, you get more stolen bases out of him. Pete doesn't steal it all. So that's a really good combo to start off the team. Then you go Jazz Chisholm with your third. I like Jazz. He can't stay healthy though. So if he stays healthy, I think it's a really good pick. The only thing to really monitor there is probably the K's OBP's. I think he's like a 330 guy, so not bad at all. Usually in the earlier rounds, I'm really weighing in on OBP or trying to, for the most part, because it is something that's very hard to come by. And most of like the elite OBP comes in them earlier rounds. But yeah, I mean, he fills up everything else. So minus the K's and the mid OBP, I like Jazz a lot. And then you go with Cody Bellinger, who again, you kind of like, I feel like it's a nice balance there so far, where you start off with them four. And I mean, Bellinger and Jose really suppressed the K's of Alonso and Chisholm. So I think you started off the draft very well. Then you go Framber Valdez. He's just good in this league. The whip was a little scarier last year, I believe. I think he was like a 1.2, but he doesn't give up home runs. And honestly, that's one of the hardest stats in this league to really get a handle on when you're drafting, when you're thinking about drafting, like what players really suppress the home run, because just from personal experience, it's been a category that has really hurt us in the past. And sometimes I have nightmares about that category. It's such a tough category. And I feel like a lot of people don't look at it as much in this league. And although it can, fluctuate a little and it's kind of hard to predict the home runs, I mean, you can find guys that are more ground ball reliant pitchers like Framber. So I love him in this league. Anytime I can get my hands on him, I'd love to have him just for that one category alone. Then you go Pena. He's a great pick. We had him last year. OBP is great. Doesn't strike out a ton. Kind of does everything. I mean, minus Pete, I mean, you got a lot of guys that do everything, which is great to have. You go Sonny in the seventh. I like that pick a lot. The age is maybe a little concerning, but I'm pretty sure the past 2 years he is kind of his advanced statistics has said that he's been a lot better than what's shown up on the stat sheet. But I do like Sonny. I really do. He's another guy that for a while he suppressed the home run ball, and then out of nowhere, it's so weird. Like the K's went up for him, the K percentage went up a lot, but then the home runs also came up a lot, and that's something I never understood about most of these pitchers is the guys with like the super high K rates. Man, they just give up a ton of home runs, and then usually your guys that don't K a lot of people somehow suppress the home run ball. It's kind of weird how that works, but and I've tried digging into why that is. I'm not really sure why that is, but yeah, I do like Sonny. Then next pick, Taylor Ward. I mean, he had a good season last year on the Baltimore team now. He's all right. I personally don't like the pick. That's just me. And the only reason why is because you already kind of load up the K's with Jazz and Alonzo, and at that point, I'm I'm pretty sure was it Nimmo that I saw that like Luis Arias was right after him. And for your team, like I feel like Jose, Pete, Jazz, Jeremy, Cody, like that's all you need really to compete on like a the bat side of things, I would say. Like you don't need much more after that. Like at that point, like I'm looking for, the low K guys with the high OBP that probably don't fill up the stats like crazy, but like they level out things that maybe your OBP I don't think is like super super elite. It's very like 330, 340ish across the board, which is good, but I mean it helps a lot to have someone that's a 380, a 390. And like I said, it is harder to find in the later rounds, but you can still find guys with like a 360, 370 uh low Ks, and that's something that we're gonna have to get to here. Luis Castillo, I don't know, in the ninth round, I guess, maybe. Good pick. We'll see. I think all three of your starting pitchers have a really high whip, which is a little scary. Luis is just, I don't know, he just feels like he's on the decline. I probably would have rather seen you like get a little riskier, but there's nothing wrong with being safe. And I think in the future you've been pretty good. I think last year you might have led the league in QSs. So like you do got three possible QS machines there, which is great. Nimmo, I mean, it goes with the same Taylor Ward thing here. I I'm not saying I dislike Nimmo. I just think your bats are so good at the beginning here that like you don't need to chase the running stats too much, and that I think that's something that makes it a lot. It's what makes this league hard is because you want to get stuck to a name, but sometimes you just got to throw the name out and say, okay, what am I getting from this person, and what will this person do for me? And when I look at Nimmo, like yeah, I could see, you know, 80 RBIs, 80 like you're you're already competing in that at that point. Like what I'm seeing right now is that like there's just a trickle effect of just a ton of Ks, and it's putting you on pace to kind of not get a lot of points in Ks. And because of that, you're not I don't really know how to explain it. Like you could easily compete in almost every batting category minus the Ks without Nimmo. So why not try to start gaining points in Ks and say, hey, if my team's good enough to get me 16 points in stolen bases, for example, or RBIs or runs or whatever it is, but then you're looking, you're like, wow, I'm really loading up the Ks. Does it make sense for me to take Nimmo when I can compete there? Like, you don't want to overproduce in a statistic, if that makes sense. Like, great. Like, yeah, you do want to get 16 points, but at the same time, you don't, there's, it's better to get 13 and 13 rather than 16 and 1. I mean, you do the math on that, that's 26 to 17. That's an extra, what, 9 points that you could be getting if you say, hey, my counting stats are there, I'm good, let me start filling in the gaps of what I need. So that's just kind of how I feel about the Nimmo and the Ward pick. It's like, yeah, they hit for power, but damn, they freaking strike out a lot, man. And when you already have Alonzo, who's all right, but then Jazz strikes out a lot. Now we're throwing Ward in there. Now we're throwing Nimmo in there. It starts becoming, a little bit of an issue. So on to your 11th pick. You ended up taking Robbie Ray. I, I don't know. What was his K percentage last year? I don't know. He gives up a lot of home runs. That's not that big of a concern for you when you have Framber. Um, your pick afterwards, Jose Soriano. I mean, they're probably two of the best at suppressing that. That isn't like your like elite scuba or anything like that. It's Robbie Ray. I don't know. I would never draft him. That's just me. I just don't like him. But he's serviceable. I think maybe at that point, I don't know what saves people are out there, but I'm pretty sure you don't have a saves guy if I'm correct. I would have maybe went towards that direction more just to try to get like say, hey, like, I have Framber, I have Sonny, I have Castillo. That's a good three right there. I don't need to completely load up the SP when, I need saves right now. Could have went that way. I don't know if maybe like Ryan Walker was out there. But yeah, it's a pick, I guess. 12th, you went Jose Soriano. I like this dude a lot, honestly. We talk about suppressing the home runs. That's what this dude does. He's not the best pitcher in the world, obviously, but I think he's a rosterable person. And again, it kind of goes back to the Robbie Ray thing. I feel like if you get a saves guy where that Robbie Ray pick is, and then take Jose Soriano, I just love that way more. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what Soriano is on like a QS aspect of things. Again, I think we really go back to the whip. I think you might have some difficulty there with your starting pitchers. They all have pretty high whip. But I think from an ERA standpoint, you should be fine if these guys end up being who they have been in the past. And Jose Soriano, I just think he has a high ceiling. I really do. I think he's one of them guys that you could definitely see a breakout from. So I really do like the Soriano pick. Then we go over to pick 13, Christian Walker. I'm going to keep this short. I don't want to keep repeating myself. The dude just strikes out a ton. And here we go. We're racking them up. We're racking up them Ks, baby. It's like, man, at that point, Nolan Chanuel, perfect plug-in. You got the guys already that are going to get you the numbers you need in the hitting category, in the stolen base category. Now you're just adding all the Ks. You don't need anything else. You're good. Your homers are good. Your stolen bases are good. I know Walker doesn't steal bases, but let's maybe stop stacking up the Ks here. And maybe that's something that you can look forward or try to fix in the future. I mean, we have time. You can make trades. You can pick people off the waivers. Just don't like the pick. It's okay. I don't like all the picks we made either, so it is what it is. Real Muto, okay. Not nothing to really say here. I don't know. He could be better than last year. I don't think he's gonna hurt you. He's a catcher. He's not gonna hurt you at all. I like the pick. I don't hate the pick, I should say. I also like it. Don't love it. Love it. Like it. Like it, yeah. Okay. Fernando Cruz. He's a K machine. I like this guy a lot. That's a good pick. Hopefully he can stay healthy this year. Jason Adam, another good pick. He was a beast last year. He's been a beast for his whole career, honestly, for the most part. Yeah, he's always been one of my favorite relief pitchers, definitely back in like the Tampa Bay days. Jared Koenig, I know nothing about him, so I'm not going to say anything. I'm guessing he's good. I hope he's good for you. What is this, Carson Bench? Don't know a thing about him. I think we were drafting in the Dynasty League. He is starting for the Mets, isn't he? That's just a homer pick. Nothing to say there. Sean Armstrong. He was actually a beast last year, too. He's another Tampa Bay Rays pitcher back in the day. And I think he had a really good season last year. I like him on the Cleveland team. They're bullpen, man. They just do it every year. I don't know how they do it. Don't matter who goes there. I feel like they're almost becoming more of like the Tampa Bay Rays, where like if you're a relief pitcher and you go to Cleveland or you go to Milwaukee, you're good. You're just good. It don't matter who you are. Somehow you're just good. Sean Manea, I mean, he's had like breakouts here and there. So we're getting to the point where it's just kind of doesn't matter. These guys are maybe rosterable, but I guess after like a month, you find out that they're not, and we drop them, and it is what it is. Jordan Beck, what's this guy known for? Striking out a ton. Stop. Get him out. Get him off the team. He needs to be dropped right now. You have no reason having him. You need to find someone that doesn't strike out a lot and add him to your team right now. Jonathan India, hey man, bounce back season. I like that pick. That's a really good pick. I mean, we get too stuck into like this idea that, oh, they had a bad season last year, they suck. And it's just not the case. I mean, it's so weird how it happens, but like even like so baseball is a long season and then you get your sample size, and even like within the season, players will go through slumps where like they just suck for 150 at bats and then they're really good for 200 at bats and then they suck again for 50 at bats. Like it's just like up and down. But then when you stretch it out, it's the same thing with like seasons too, where like some players, I mean, even you can look at Mookie, for example. I mean, for as great as this guy has been, you look at his whole career, he had down seasons and it just happens. And I think it's great to buy on players that has kind of proven to have a pretty high ceiling like India. I think his K rate isn't atrocious either. I like him. I think he's someone that could possibly end up making it into your starting lineup every single day. I'd keep him. And then Stanton, what's this guy do? Nothing you need, dude, other than strike out, which is a bad thing. Get rid of him. You don't want him. You don't need him. Go out there, look at the waiver wire, go on Savant, go somewhere, look at K percentages, look at projected K percentages, whatever you need to do. Let's fix the Ks a little bit. Overall, to be completely honest with you, I have to give you just a solid B. If you keep the team the way that it is right now, you're not going to win the league. If you make the right moves, you have the pieces to win the league. That's all I'm going to say. I think you have a chance to win the league this year with your draft. It was a good draft. I think B is great. That's a great draft. Honestly, when I look back at our drafts, they're literally like D- drafts. Like we never have a good draft. It's all about what you do during the season. And again, just to get, I mean, my number one advice here is you got a ton of Ks. Your bats at the top are just so good, man. They're going to carry you. Start thinking about just plugging in something that can offset them Ks so that you can get 8 points in Ks. You can get 9 points and then also compete for possible 16s and everything else. And, you're going to see a lot of success. If you don't make the changes, though, you're going to get, I don't know what every other team is looking like. I know a lot of people are complaining about their Ks. Not a lot of people, but some people saying, oh, my Ks are crazy. I have too many. But the way I look at it right now, you could easily be a one-pointer in the Ks. And like I said, there's players you don't need. So maybe look to move them at some point here. If one of the guys gets hot, move them for someone that, just doesn't K a lot. Someone that's serviceable to just help you even out the squad. Because that's all it's about, man. It's really all it's about. You don't need to get 16s across the board, but you do need to get 14s, 13s, and getting a 1 in any category, it makes your chances of winning this league almost impossible. Not going to say it's impossible, but you got to be almost elite everywhere else. And there's some other good teams out there with some really good bats. So your best bet, in my personal opinion, cut the Ks, compete in that. And I think you have the bats that are going to compete for, 10 plus points the whole ways across. And then with the pitching, minus saves, I like it. So B.